You are accidentally sent back in time to 1986 and are trying to convince scientists that you are from 2022. What totally true fact could you tell them about your time would make them think you were insane? Make them think I'm insane? I'd say, I'm from the future. Bill Cosby, America's Dad, is a serial rapist. Two very notable world events happen in 1986: Chernobyl and the Space Shuttle disaster. People can live long lives with HIV. Pat Sajak and Vanna White will still be hosting Wheel of Fortune in 2022. HIV is treatable. This was the height of the AIDS epidemic. And the thought of HIV becoming a condition you can live a long and full life with was unthinkable. PFFT. Pluto, the planet, is no longer considered a planet. Retell every major event that will happen in 1986 so at least they know I'm from the future. Get a good look at those towers, friends. Because by the new millennium they will topple to cause a massive military mission overseas for decades. This also projects a vast butterfly effect. Sir, about Bill Cosby. You might want to sit down for this one. I have the entirety of all human knowledge in my pocket and I use it to get into arguments with strangers and look at pictures of cats. Still no flying cars. Gay marriage is now legal. A little stuffed, plush animal caused millions of people to go fucking insane. Like fistfights in toy stores insane. Apple market cap will be 20 times more than IBM. People eat kale. Men will get 250% of their porn digitally. Wait until you hear who the 45th president was. Mr. Reagan, please don't arm, support, and train the Mujahideen, Taliban for short-term geopolitical gains. A DNA test of a child born that year that would match mine. China becomes as big as the US. Donald Trump, the real estate magnate. Who's the vice president? Hulk Hogan. I weighed 125 pounds. We have a photo of a black hole. It's not the greatest quality, but we have one. The most sophisticated personal computer hardware people carry with them is 1,000,000 times more powerful than computers at that time. But mostly people use it as a flashlight. Tell them the Mets will win the World Series. Tell them the stock market will crash in October of '87. Tell them the Cold War would end in a few years. That mullets are uncool. Wi-Fi and smart devices would sound like magic. How NFTs work, trying to understand them today is hard enough. I'm actually from 2022 and managed to travel back to your time. We put a black man into office for 2 terms in 2008. Yellow people on the TV will predict the future. You'll never guess how long it took Tom Cruise to make a sequel to Top Gun. You can fry things with air. If you tell me your address, I can tell you exactly what your home looks like on the outside by looking at my phone. Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. But don't worry, we can watch movies from home anytime we want. I'd probably start with predicting the Challenger explosion, then Chernobyl. I'd try to explain 4chan. I'd be a straitjacket within an hour. We need to wear protection for both sex and breathing, in case we get a virus. 9/11, Bitcoin and COVID. So, somebody invented computer money for buying LSD from the Balkans. And it turns out you could have gotten rich off of it. I'd take my phone out of my pocket. That conservatives in the US from the party of Reagan would be walking around wearing t-shirts that said, "I'd rather be a Russian than a Democrat." Easy 9/11 and the effects it had on America, and maybe the deaths of a couple celebrities like Robin Williams. Mick Jagger is still performing at 78 years old. ITT people who don't understand what the 80s was like culturally. Here's a hint. It was the "greed is good" decade, which probably shared more in common with the 1950s than our modern world. Canon believers. Ooh, what games are gonna release in 1987? Probably Metal Gear, Zelda 2 and wait, don't shoot, I'm thinking. What Twin Towers? A house in Everly Street, Redfern, is worth millions. D's nuts. Quote. In 1986, shit. Trump is the leader of a shadow religious terrorist organization. The Soviet Union broke up, and Ukraine is kicking Russia's butt. Just explaining the concept of NFTs or TikTok would do it. The Higgs boson has been officially discovered. That there are people who pay thousands of dollars to make themselves look like rubbery misshapen dolls. By choice. I can't tell because that would change the future. Donald Trump had been president of the USA. We will have supercomputers that fit into our pockets in 2022 that holds almost every scientific paper ever written and all human knowledge, and somehow, people are still stupid. We sent a fucking car to space. No, not a flying car. A regular car, for roads. In space. If I were accidentally sent back to 1986, I would not be wasting my time dicking around with scientists. I would be carefully and methodically finding a way to prevent my father's death 10 years later. Soviet Union will fall. There will be a sequel to the best-selling flick Back to the Future. It's great, but it accidentally explains why Donald Trump is president many years after its release. OJ is a murderer. There's this guy called Vladimir Putin. Deal with him now. Donald Trump was president from 2016 to 2020. And still thinks he is president after losing the election. A virus that shuts down the world is currently happening, and although we have medical advances to stop it, a lot of stupid people think it's a hoax and won't take the necessary measures to get better. The average house in 1986 costs 10 times more in 2022. That I know what the internet was and what it was designed for. Antarctica was 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 38.5 degrees Celsius warmer in March. Trump got elected president. There aren't any flying cars. Pluto isn't a planet. The Higgs boson particle was discovered. TVs will be flat. We will have a TV, computer, calculator and phone in one device that can fit on your pocket. Pluto will be downgraded from a planet. All the world's knowledge can be summoned on demand from a thing you keep in your pocket. And we're arguably the worse for it. Donald Trump is no longer president. Donald Trump was POTUS. That Higgs is right about the Higgs mechanism and that the Higgs boson will be observed. Donald Trump became president. Trump. Donald Trump is running for the third time as POTUS. Donald Trump was president. Donald Trump will be elected president. And some people will be so upset when he's voted out that they literally tried to take over Washington, D.C. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.